Hello, welcome to you all in this new video. In this video, we are going to learn 3-point lighting setup. So that is kind of professional lighting. Whenever we go into any studio, we see 3-point lighting setup most of the time because that setup gives you very professional and realistic looks. So in this video, we are going to learn how to give realistic lighting to our objects or our scene. That is called 3-point. So without any further ado, let's get started. So before that, I will tell you how many types of lightning is available in Blender to apply on your scene. So if you go in this, before that, let me just enable a screen cross key. If you go into this add option and then scroll down a bit, and then there's you will see there are light option, and there are four different kinds of light you can apply in your scene. There's a point light. So let me add point light. So now let me just move it on the Z axis, and this light should be deleted. Now this is point light. What is the main key role of point light? To give light to the certain area. Light, if you are in a room, one point light will light, what can I say, will give brightness to every wall. Like the center of light is called point light. So now if you go into this tab, and this is a 10 power, but how you will see point light, the lightning of point this light. So you just have to go into the world properties and then just down a bit. Now what did I do? Just change the color of our environment. So now you are not able to see it, but if you go into the render tab, then you will able to see. Now if we, by default it's here, but I decrease it to the full blade. Now let me change the render engine. AV is used for non-realistic look, but cycles used for realistic looks. So I need realistic lighting, and then you just have to move it little down, this up, and then select here from this like this. Now you are able to see the brightness of light. If I select this light tab here, their option will become up object data properties. And if you go into this, then like if it's 10,000, then I just made 20 or 50. The more I increase, the more brightness of light will be like this. Now it's point light. It gives light to a certain area which comes into the point. Like it's the, if here is a wall like this, here's a wall, here's a wall, and here's a wall. It's the center of the lightning. And if I want to change the color of it, I can like any color. I can put it like any. And there is a called exposure. If you want to increase a bit, but mostly I just made it default like on 0 was, yeah. Now others are a little bit, and the radius. The radius it's called the radius of light. Sometimes you need to increase it, but mostly it's on default. So this is the point light. After that, let me delete this light. After that, there is another light called sunlight. As you know how sun is, if I rotate it, let me just up a bit. So sun gives brightness to every area right around the viewport. So you just have to rotate it. I want to rotate it on the Z axis. Then you are able to see there is a no brightness or no reflection. We are able to see if you rotate it in the X axis, then you will see. But if you rotate in the Y axis, here is the brightness. So sun is used for Sun is the actual sun we see in our real world. It gives brightness to everywhere. It's like that. So it's here. If you want to increase the power of sun light, then you just have to increase the strength like 5000. Oh, then here you are able to see the more brighter it is. Select sun. Yeah. Now let me delete the sun. Here's another light. I want to show spotlight. It's a spotlight. It gives brightness to a certain spot. So the light comes from there here. Now you can increase the power if you want to. Like the more power increase, the brighter it will be, and the more sharp shadow it will become. It's the spotlight. And after that, there's a area light that I want to tell you. With area light, there's also a 3-point lighting setup comes up. Light, if you increase the move it on Z axis, and then what can I say? Yeah. Now I am just changing the colors. You can also I can increase the power of. So now these are all type of things I told you about lightning, basic things. But now let's move to Chrome, and now here. What is 3-point lightning? Here is our camera. Here will be our T light. From bed there will be bed light or rim light, and from here it will be fill light. So T light power is very increased. Then fill light and bed light. So a main focus should be T light. So now we are going to do a little experiment on our object. Let me delete all this and go into the viewport, and then add and then go into the meshes and then add multi. Now what you have to do to just by shift A you can add anything in your viewport, and then I add a area light. From here I just move it on the Z axis and then just rotate it on the 90 degrees. How can you rotate it on the 90 degrees? By just pressing R and X on your keyboard and then press 90 on your keyboard. Then here it is. Now what you can do, just move it on a little bit Z axis, and then if you press double, if you press G and Y to move it on the Y axis, and then little bit on the X axis, and then down. Now you are able to see it's our main key light. So just now we have to go into the render view, and then we have to increase the power of light. I want to do it 25,000, little bit more brighter, like 30. Now we have to backlight or rim light. How? We just have to duplicate our area light, and then we have to press Z two times. We have to press two times on Z in our keyboard, and then we just have to press R and Z to rotate in the Z axis, and then press 180 to reflect it. Now let me just move it a bit, and then like this. I have to like this. Now we have to duplicate one more time, and then press RZ 90, sorry, RZ minus 90 and then little bit like this, and then normalize chitron like this. We don't have to give same power of brightness to our fill light, so I am just decreasing it to the 15. Now let me increase this and this light like this. Now let me add another light like this on the upper part of our object. Then we just have to press this and go into this modifiers tab and then add a generate called subdiv modify surface, increase it to the third, and then let me shade smooth this. After that, go into the color tab, add materials to our object, like any material I want to add like this. Give little bit roughness to this, like decrease it a bit, and then we just have to add camera. We can go inside the camera by this, and then we just have to press N on our keyboard and go into the view, and then take this camera to view, and now we can see our objects from our camera like this. Now you are able to see the fill light, and this shadow comes up with the backlight. If we don't have any backlight, this shadows won't come up like this. Reflection, the highlight in this area won't come up. And if we don't have fill light, here the little brightness, a little shade won't come up. So I am just going to hide. But before that, go into the viewport, open this, just press N on keyboard, and if you are done with your view from the camera, then just untick this. And now what you can do, this is a T light, just how you can rename this. Just press right click on your mouse, and then here you will able to see mm, sorry, you just have to double click on this, and then you just have to write it T light, and then this is called fill light. Double tap on text, fill light, and then this light is called backlight, and this is light called upper light. And now if we go into the render tab and then just change into the GPU compute, as I told you about graphic cards. Now if we, how we can hide light in the viewport, if we just hide the backlight in our viewport, now you are able to see the shadows won't come up. And then if we hide the fill light, this part will be darker. But if we add backlight, the shadow will come up. That gives a realistic look of our object, and also the fill light, this little warmth of the object. But if we hide the upper light, this will be more darker, but we don't want that. And if you can uncheck this, like still this is really nice look without key light, but without fill and backlight, our scene is completely brought in fill light. And if we this, yeah, now you are able to see the realistic look our scene is driven, like kind of, not completely, but kind of. Yeah. Now how to render our object. But before that, let me tell you how to save your project. Just you have to press Ctrl S on your keyboard, and then you can draw and save it anywhere, and you just have to rename here, and then you can press this button. Your project will be safe. Or there's another way. If you go into the file tab, and then if you go into the save as, and there's also a same thing you can do. And how to render our scene, you just have to go into the render tab. But before that, let me make it 1024, and then we just have to color management and medium high contrast or medium low contrast, like it feels more darker. Medium low contrast is okay for me. And then we just have to like this and go into this render tab, and then press render image. This will take a while, so wait for it. Now you are able to see our first render is complete. This uh, this is looking completely nice. In this video, you have learned how to give realistic looks to your scene, a 3-point lighting setup, and then how can you save this. You just have to go into the image tab and then save as, and you can save it anywhere you want. So thank you so much for watching this video. Another video and other lessons. Hope so. Meet you soon. Thank you so much.